Welcome to this channel, a place where we learn English step by step with simple words, clear guidance, and steady motivation. No matter where you are, whether in a busy city or a quiet room, learning can begin right here with us together. And today, I want to share a moment that changed the way I see learning. It's a quiet night. I sit by the window alone with a blank notebook and one stubborn dream to speak English clearly, confidently, and without fear someday. I don't have a teacher or a class. There's no partner to practice with no club to join. Even so, I believe progress can start here at home. Every day, I make a small promise to myself, keep going. My vocabulary is tiny, grammar, shaky pronunciation uneven, but my desire to learn is stronger than doubt. I open the notebook. The page is empty, but my chest feels heavy with questions and light with hope. Maybe simple steps repeated can carry me forward. Can someone learn without a school? Could I really reach fluent speech from this room? A quiet voice answers from inside. Yes, if you begin and keep beginning. If that voice echoes in you too, stay close. I will walk with you step by step, showing a path that anyone can follow with patience. You don't need expensive books or a grand plan. You don't need perfect conditions. You need a tiny, start-steady heart and the habit of daily practice. Your bedroom can become your training ground. This chair, this lamp, this phone, tools for progress. Turn ordinary minutes into English time, and the minutes will multiply. Remember, you are not by yourself on this road. I'm here guiding you. When you stumble, we adjust. When you improve, we build. We keep moving. This is your moment. Breathe open the notebook. Write the first small line. Let it be simple. Let it be yours. We begin now together right here. Chapter 1. The First Morning. I spoke alone. A fresh morning arrives. The sun lights up the sky, but inside my chest feels heavy. I dream of speaking English with confidence, yet the question repeats in my head, where do I even begin? No teacher stands before me. No classroom waits with desks and students. I am at home alone, unsure, and yes, afraid. My room is quiet. I sit on the bed whispering to myself, can I really do this here? My thoughts say, it's too difficult. But a softer voice answers, try anyway. So I start small. I look at the table and say, this is a table. I glance at the chair. This is a chair. I face the window. This is a window. The words are easy, yet my voice feels awkward, almost clumsy. I speak slowly, shyly, but I keep going. In the kitchen, I meet new objects. A cup becomes a friend. This is a cup. The spoon answers. This is a spoon. The plate joins in. This is a plate. I give names to the world around me, as if every object is waiting for my voice. Then I stand before the mirror. My reflection stares back. I smile and say, hello. How are you? A small laugh escapes. It feels silly, but strangely joyful. I ask, what is your name? And reply to myself, my name is Sam. Then nice to meet you. And I answer, nice to meet you too. This is my very first English conversation, and it happens with myself. I return to my notebook, writing a few new words. Then I speak them out loud again and again. The sound is not perfect. The accent feels rough, but it is my own voice, and that matters. Even if no one else hears, I know I am practicing. Mistakes come quickly. I forget, I mispronounce, I stumble, yet I refuse to stop. Each mistake, I remind myself, is not failure, it is proof that I'm learning. When you practice alone, it feels unusual at first, shy, awkward, strange. But every word is a small victory. Every short sentence is one step forward. I begin to weave English into my daily life while brushing my teeth. I say I brush my teeth. When making tea, I whisper I boil water. I take the cup. I pour the tea. My ordinary life becomes simple English practice. The best part is this: I am free. I can go slow. I can repeat 100 times. No one laughs, no one interrupts. The room becomes my safe classroom. The silence becomes my audience. Real confidence doesn't begin on a stage or in front of a crowd. It begins here in a quiet room when you dare to use your own voice. That day, I didn't learn much grammar or memorize long lists of words. Instead, I learned something greater. I learned how to start. That is the first secret of learning English at home. Begin even when you are nervous. Speak even when you are alone. With time, the fear that once held you back transforms into the strength that carries you forward. And so my journey began with one object, one sentence, one mirror, and one voice. My voice. A voice that will grow stronger day after day as long as I keep speaking. Chapter 2. Learning to Listen Like a Child. The following morning, a fresh thought rises in my mind. How do children learn to speak their first language? They are not given grammar books. No one asks them to memorize word lists. They simply listen. Day after day, month after month. They hear voices, laughter, songs, stories. At first they understand almost nothing, but still they keep listening. And slowly, as if by magic, their brains begin to understand. That realization gives me hope. If children can learn this way, maybe I can too. I tell myself I will train my ears. I will not worry about mistakes or grammar. I will listen the way a child listens, open, curious, patient. So I take out my phone and search for simple English audio. I discover a podcast made for beginners. The voice is calm, slow, and clear. The story is about a girl who goes to the market. Nothing special. Yet for me it feels like a gift. I understand most of it. I smile, almost surprised. Yes, I can do this. Soon I find another recording. This one is only a few minutes long, describing ordinary routines: eating breakfast, riding the bus, buying groceries. I listen carefully. Then I pause and repeat some of the short phrases. My own voice is quiet, but it feels alive. For the first time, I am not only hearing English, I am echoing it. Later I move to YouTube. I search easy English conversations. I find two people talking slowly. Hello, how are you? I'm fine, thank you. And you? Simple words I already know, but this time I listen with new ears. I don't just hear the meaning. I notice the tone, the rhythm, the rise and fall of the voice. I pause, repeat, and practice until my own words carry the same melody. Soon I realize listening is no longer passive. It is not just background noise. It is training. It is exercise for my ears. Every pause, every repetition is like lifting a small weight, tiny but powerful. I design a simple routine. When I prepare breakfast, I play English audio in the background. While chopping vegetables or boiling water, I let the voices flow through me. My hands work, but my ears study. When I clean my room, I put on another podcast. I don't repeat, just absorb the natural rhythm. Later, when I walk outside, I carry short stories in my headphones. I replay the same recording 3 times. Each time, something new appears. Words that were blurry before suddenly make sense. It feels like discovering hidden treasures. Sometimes I still don't understand. Sometimes whole sentences slip away. But I remind myself, even babies do not understand everything. They keep listening. And so will I. Because every minute of listening makes my brain stronger. At night before sleep, I play one last story. A gentle voice reads in English. I close my eyes, letting the words wash over me. I do not catch every detail, but the sound itself comforts me. I drift into dreams with English in my ears. This becomes my way of learning, not studying, not forcing, just listening. While cooking, while walking, while resting. I do not separate English from life. I weave it into every corner of my day. And something beautiful happens. English begins to live inside me. I catch myself thinking small thoughts in English. I hear sentences in my mind when I am silent. The language is no longer foreign. It is becoming part of me. So here is the truth I have discovered. If you want to speak well, you must first learn to listen well. Do not rush. Do not be impatient. Your ears are the doorway. They are your first and best teachers. Trust them, train them, and they will open the path to fluency. Chapter 3. Reading that changed everything. It is a gray afternoon rain tapping against the glass. I sit near the window holding a warm cup of tea. My mind feels peaceful, my heart calm. I suddenly remember something my teacher once said. Reading opens the door to learning faster. Those words echo in my thoughts. Curious, I unlock my phone and search for simple English stories for beginners. Soon, I discover a short story called A Day in the Park. The sentences are easy to follow. Tom wakes up. He eats breakfast. He goes outside. I recognize nearly all the words. I begin reading slowly, pronouncing each word clearly. Speaking aloud gives me joy. It feels possible. It feels like progress. I finish the little story within minutes, then I repeat it again. With the second reading, more meaning appears. On the third time, my voice flows smoother. My eyes move faster across the page. I feel like I am inside Tom's world, walking in the park beside him. I smile with satisfaction. That moment changes me. I promise myself to read every single day. Not heavy textbooks, not complicated novels, just easy stories in English for a short time. The next morning, I find a story about a girl and her cat. Later, I read one about two friends shopping together. They feel alive, not boring. The words are simple, yet the stories carry emotion. Each sentence connects with me. I feel like I am living through English, not just studying it anymore. Something amazing begins to happen. I notice certain words appearing again and again. The word walk shows up everywhere. He walks to school. She walks to the shop. Each time I see the word, it becomes stronger in my memory. I don't need a notebook. I don't force myself to memorize. My brain remembers naturally. This is the secret power of reading. Words are not isolated. They live inside sentences. You learn how native speakers connect them, not just single vocabulary. Sometimes I meet a word I don't know. I pause, check the dictionary, and return to the sentence. Now it makes sense. Understanding grows step by step. I never write long lists of words. Instead, I keep reading forward. When the word appears again, my mind recognizes it quicker. That is true learning. I often read aloud in front of a mirror. I watch my mouth listen to my voice. I don't fear mistakes because practice matters more than perfection. Reading soon helps my speaking. When I read more often, I speak with more confidence. My sentences form faster. My words sound smoother and more natural. I no longer pause to translate. I stop thinking in my native language. English slowly becomes the language of my thoughts, simply because I read it daily. After 1 week, I notice the difference. I read 2 or 3 stories each day. They play like short movies inside my head, alive and colorful. I begin to guess meanings without the dictionary. My understanding grows naturally. English feels less like a difficult subject and more like a friend staying beside me. Reading becomes my habit, my routine. In the morning, I read something short. In the evening, maybe a longer story. Sometimes I reread the same one many times. Every repetition helps me remember. Each story makes me more fluent. Slowly, my confidence increases. Reading becomes not just practice, but joy part of my daily life. If you want to improve English at home, start with reading. Choose simple, fun stories. 10 minutes a day is already powerful. Don't worry about grammar or big words. Focus on enjoying the text. Let reading become your habit. With time, you will notice your speaking improves naturally. Reading is more than learning words. It is discovering a new world. Each story is a doorway, and English gives you the key to walk through. Chapter 4. Shadowing without fear. The night feels calm. I sit in my small room, phone in hand, listening to a soft English voice. The sound is clear, slow, and steady. The speaker introduces herself. My name is Emily. I live in New York. I pause the recording. I copy her words. I try to sound the same. This is my very first attempt at shadowing. I first discovered this method from a YouTube video. Shadowing means repeating right after a native speaker. It is called shadowing because, like a shadow follows a person, your voice follows theirs. You listen carefully. You repeat instantly. You copy everything. At first, my heart feels nervous. I have never tried this method before. I worry that my words sound strange. I fear pronouncing things incorrectly. But then I remind myself of something important. Nobody is here. Nobody is watching. I am safe inside my own room, free to make mistakes. I select a very short clip, just 1 minute. The speaker shares her daily life. She says, I wake up at 7. I pause, repeat. Again she speaks. I drink coffee in the kitchen. I pause, then echo her words. I say it again several times, matching tone, rhythm, and voice. Slowly, my fear begins to fade. My words come out smoother. My voice grows stronger. Instead of nervousness, I begin to enjoy this practice. I realize shadowing is like practicing music. It's not about speed, it's about accuracy. Careful listening, focused, repeating step by step makes everything more natural. So I design a plan for myself. Every day, I will practice shadowing for 10 minutes using short clips with subtitles to guide me clearly. My method is simple. First listen, then read the subtitles, then pause after every line and repeat. Step by step, sentence by sentence. I keep going. Mistakes happen often. Sometimes my tongue slips. Sometimes I forget a phrase. But instead of quitting, I repeat again. I raise my voice. I continue. After some days, something changes. My pronunciation improves. My tongue moves faster. I can say sentences more easily. My words flow without stopping. I feel confident. Shadowing becomes more than practice. It teaches me how English actually sounds in daily life, not only grammar book English, but the real speech of people. I notice how speakers connect words together. I hear their rising and falling intonation. I learn natural rhythm. All of this comes from simple shadowing practice. The best part is its simplicity. I only need my phone, headphones, and a quiet space. I can practice in the morning or late evening. Sometimes I even shadow while walking alone. I whisper the words, practicing silently. Nobody notices yet. I keep training my ears, my mouth, and my mind. Before important situations, I shadow even more. If I expect an interview, I find videos about interviews and repeat each line until I feel fully prepared. This small exercise builds courage. It trains my confidence. It shows me that speaking practice does not always require another person. Shadowing alone is powerful. In the beginning, it may feel difficult, but as days pass, it turns enjoyable. It becomes a routine. It becomes a daily workout for my voice. If you want to sound like native speakers, you must copy their listening and speaking style. Shadowing provides that chance right from your own home. It transforms your phone into a teacher. It changes your quiet bedroom into a small classroom. It turns your nervous voice into a strong tool. So don't hesitate. Choose a short clip. Press play. Pause after each sentence. Repeat again and again. 10 minutes daily will bring great improvement. Soon your English will sound sharper. Your words will be clearer. Your voice will grow confident. All of this happens because you dared to shadow fearlessly. Chapter 5. Talking to myself in English. It is a warm afternoon, and I sit quietly near the window with a notebook resting in my hands. The house is silent, but my thoughts feel restless. I sense an urge to speak. I want to practice my English, yet there is no teacher, no classmates, and no friends around. So I begin speaking alone. At first it feels strange. I smile awkwardly and say, "Hello, how are you?" Then I respond to myself, "I'm fine, thank you. How about you?" It feels a little funny, almost silly, but also freeing. I realize I don't need to wait for anyone. I don't need the perfect time. I just begin. I start moving around the room describing my actions. I open the door. I close the window. I take a pen. I sit down on the chair. The sentences are very simple, yet they carry power. I speak slowly and clearly, hearing my own voice. I can already feel my English improving. Later, I stand in front of the mirror. Looking at myself, I ask questions and give answers. I tell short stories about my morning or my day. For example, I say today, I woke up early. I made tea. I cleaned my room. I watched a short video. Talking to myself starts to feel natural. When I step outside, the practice continues in my head. I see a dog and think the dog is running. I see a man and say, he is shopping. I notice a tree and whisper, the leaves are green. My inner voice is changing. Slowly it begins to think in English, not just translate words. This method is how I train. I don't need a partner. I don't need perfect grammar. I only need courage and the willingness to keep speaking. Of course, I make mistakes. Sometimes I forget words. Sometimes I mix sentences, but I don't stop. I correct myself, try again, smile, and continue. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to keep practicing. Every day, I choose new situations and imagine conversations in different real-life places. Sometimes, I pretend I'm in a cafe ordering food hello. I'd like a cup of coffee, please. Other times, I'm at the airport asking about my flight. I even create full conversations playing two roles in my room. I ask questions, answer them, and build dialogues until my English flows faster. As days pass, I notice changes. I feel more confident. My sentences come easily. Speaking becomes smoother, and English starts to feel like a habit. One day while cooking, I find myself speaking aloud. I cut the onion. I add salt. I stir the soup. And suddenly I realize there is no fear. I no longer plan each sentence. The words just appear naturally. My brain is thinking in English without effort. Practice has become part of me. That is the true power of self-talk. It feels private and simple, yet it is strong. It transforms my room into a personal, free classroom. I can practice early in the morning, late at night, or any time I am alone. The more I speak, the stronger my skills and confidence become. Talking to myself links my thoughts with spoken words. It trains my brain to react quickly. It teaches me bravery to use words without hesitation. No one is watching. No one is judging. I am free to practice as much as I want. With every attempt, my fear slowly fades away. The more I continue, the easier it is to speak with others. My English feels natural. My voice feels stronger, and confidence begins to grow inside. It all begins with one simple choice, using my own voice. That small step builds courage, fluency, and a lasting habit that makes English part of me. Chapter 6. Using Technology Wisely. At night, I sit on my bed holding my phone. A question appears in my mind. Can this small device actually help me improve my English skills? I begin exploring. I open apps, scroll through settings. Everything shows in my native language. Suddenly a thought comes. I switch everything to English. Instantly, my phone transforms. Now each time I unlock it, English words greet me. It feels unusual, even strange, but also exciting. I sense this simple action is the start of something powerful. I make a promise my phone will no longer be just for entertainment. From this moment, it will also be a teacher, guiding my language journey. The following day, I search for learning apps. I discover one filled with basic vocabulary. Pictures appear and the app speaks words aloud. Apple, I repeat. Chair, I repeat again. For 10 minutes, I practice. It feels enjoyable, stress-free, and surprisingly effective. Repetition makes words stick naturally. Step by step, I begin to learn without pressure or boredom. Later, I find another application focusing on speaking. It asks me to say full sentences. I speak and instantly it checks my pronunciation. A green tick appears. I smile proudly. I also explore YouTube. Typing easy English listening. I discover channels with short videos. One man describes his daily routine. I copy him sentence by sentence, pausing and repeating carefully. The next day, I watch the same video again. This time, my understanding grows stronger. My ears hear better. My mouth repeats clearly, and my brain absorbs naturally. Curious, I try voice typing. I open a notes app and speak. Hello, my name is Sam. I enjoy reading books. The phone writes exactly what I say. When mistakes appear, I realize my pronunciation is unclear. I correct myself. Try again and notice gradual improvement. Technology becomes like a mirror showing me how I sound. I also rely on a dictionary app. When reading stories, I type unfamiliar words. The app explains meanings and provides examples. I read then, move on learning naturally with exposure. Occasionally, I open Google Translate, but only when I'm truly stuck. I listen to the pronunciation repeated and practice shadowing the sound until it feels natural in my mouth. However, I don't let technology control me. I use it with structure 30 minutes in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, only for learning without distractions or games. Even music becomes part of learning. I play English songs with subtitles reading along as I sing. This strengthens rhythm intonation and pronunciation while keeping the process fun. Sometimes I watch movies using English subtitles. First with subtitles on, then without. I test myself, then check again. This simple cycle helps me understand more each time. One day I experiment with a voice assistant. What's the weather today, I ask. It answers in English. I try another question. This feels like using English in real life. Through all these tools, I realize technology is everywhere ready to teach. No expensive course is required. A phone, internet, and determination are enough to grow. So I remind myself, use apps, videos, subtitles, and voice tools. But use them wisely. With purpose, your phone becomes more than entertainment, it becomes a true classroom. Each day, learn one word, one sentence, or one video. Small actions create big progress. Step by step, your phone turns into your partner in mastering English. Used wisely, technology shapes progress. It becomes your teacher, your mirror, your daily companion. With discipline and purpose, this simple device can guide you to real fluency. Chapter 7. Building English Habits at Home. The sun is rising, and everything feels calm. I am still resting in bed, but I reach for my phone and open a short English story. I read a single paragraph carefully. After reading, I speak the words out loud. This is my chosen morning practice now, something I repeat every single day. It takes only a few minutes, but it changes how I start my mornings. English enters my day naturally, almost like drinking water after waking up. I discovered something valuable. Progress doesn't come from endless hours of studying. Instead, it grows from repeating small, steady actions that slowly shape your daily rhythm. When small actions become habits, you no longer struggle to remember. You simply act without thinking, just like brushing your teeth or sitting down for breakfast. Now English is woven into my daily flow. After brushing my teeth, I stand in front of the mirror, smile, and speak simple words to myself. I say things like, "Good morning today will be great. I will prepare tea. I will learn something new. I will grow stronger." These gentle words awaken my mind and prepare me for the day. While making breakfast, I let an English story play in the background. I don't pause to repeat sentences. I just listen, allowing my ears to enjoy the sounds. My brain absorbs the rhythm without any stress. Soon entering the kitchen itself becomes a signal. My thoughts whisper, "It's time to listen." The habit repeats naturally without any effort or planning. Later during afternoon walks, I practice thinking in English. I describe what I see around me, simple observations, like a car passing people talking or the sky above. These descriptions are short and easy, yet they train my mind. Bit by bit, English becomes part of how I experience my surroundings each day. At night, I continue my practice with something fun. After dinner, I watch a short video in English, sometimes a cartoon, sometimes a simple conversation. I usually turn on subtitles and try to repeat certain lines. It feels like casual entertainment, but it quietly strengthens my listening and speaking together. I keep a small notebook beside me. Each day I write 1 or 2 new words, nothing overwhelming. Later I try to use them while speaking. Slowly, these words settle into my memory. I also place labels on objects in my room like mirror, door, or lamp so I see and repeat them daily. Even small actions like this help me remember naturally. On weekends, I reflect in English about my week, what I read, watched, or learned in small steps. I say sentences like I finished stories, I learned words, I watched videos. Speaking slowly but proudly, I realize progress is built by habits, not luck. Sometimes I feel lazy or tired. I don't want to practice. But the habit itself reminds me just 5 minutes. And 5 minutes always feels possible. Once I start, I feel lighter and stronger. Habits carry me forward when motivation disappears. They make learning English part of my lifestyle, not just a subject. So don't pressure yourself to study for hours. Begin with one routine. Practice a little in the morning. Watch something short at night. Think in English while walking. Add habits, one by one. With time, they transform you. English becomes your natural companion, not an extra task. You don't just study, you live with it. Consistency matters more than long hours. 5 daily minutes will build more than 1 weekly hour. Regular practice turns English into your friend, your habit, your daily song. Chapter 8. Learning never stops at home. Night has fallen. The house is silent. I lie in bed reflecting on today. A soft smile comes because every small effort I made carried meaning. I read a short English story, watched a brief video, practiced speaking in the mirror, and learned a new word. Simple actions, but they built progress. A day filled with growth. A day where learning became natural. I remember when I believed this was impossible, thinking classrooms and teachers were the only answer. I once doubted home learning, assuming it lacked structure. But now I see clearly, home is not a limitation, it is the very heart of progress. In truth, home is the starting line. With the right mindset, it can take you further than you ever imagined possible, even without formal lessons. These past weeks I have noticed huge changes. My pronunciation is sharper. My sentences flow more smoothly. Listening feels easier. Speaking feels more natural and free. And the surprising part is this growth came without a classroom, without a strict teacher, only from consistent effort in the quiet space of my home. The secret was not intensity, but repetition. One small step each day. Using books, apps, mirrors, and my own voice, I turned simple tools into progress. Of course, there were difficult days. I felt drained, distracted, or discouraged. But I reminded myself just 5 minutes, and those minutes built unstoppable momentum. Over time, that tiny choice transformed into a strong habit. At home, I became both learner and teacher. I shape the lesson's pace and method myself. I choose what I practice. I choose how I study. I choose when to work. That freedom is not a weakness, it is my strength. I always keep a small notebook near me. Each day, I jot down words or expressions. At night, I review them calmly before closing my eyes. I never pressure myself to memorize instantly. I simply read, notice, and feel the words. Slowly, my mind absorbs them naturally. I trust the slow process. Sometimes I record my own voice. Speaking about my day or my feelings for 1 minute, I listen afterward. I notice mistakes, but also undeniable progress. I continue shadowing lines from videos. I still read easy stories. I speak to myself daily. I think in English even while cooking, walking, or resting. Every small activity transforms into practice. Even quiet moments teach something. And the beauty is there is no test, no grade, no one watching me. I have discovered learning is not measured by speed. It is about the journey, a journey that is patient, meaningful, and full of small victories. If you are studying at home, do not fear mistakes. Do not compare your speed. Just continue forward, reading, listening, speaking, and thinking a little daily. Your home becomes your classroom. Your phone becomes your teacher. Your voice becomes your guide. Your dream shines as the light showing you the way. You are never alone. I once stood where you are now. I began afraid, silent, unsure. But I took the first step, then another, then another. Slowly rhythm appeared. Confidence grew. And you will experience this too. Keep going. Keep repeating. Keep practicing. Let English grow with you moment by moment. There is no need to wait for a better time. This moment is already perfect. Just start. Just continue. Just believe. That is enough. If this video encouraged you, please like and share it with friends. Subscribe for more easy English lessons. Together, we will continue to grow. Now let me ask you, what one English habit will you begin today? Write it below. Share your journey. Let's learn and support each other. Always remember, you can speak English. You can study at home. And I will be here to guide and cheer for you every step of the way.